Hi, Sean Lee here, and this is Technique Talk for Paganini Caprice number 2. In order to play this Caprice, you need a very flexible left hand, or a very big left hand, or a flexible big left hand. So if you start working on this Caprice and you feel some serious strain or pain in the left hand, you should stop and avoid injury. In the left hand, what I recommend is to locate the pedal points and stretch away from those. The weird thing about this is that when your pedal point is on the fourth finger or third finger, that might mean you actually have to stretch back away from it and unhook the first finger. Also, when you have the bottom and the top voices both actively moving, the left hand is so much in limbo, I find that it doesn't really make sense to think in positions and intervals anymore. What I like to do is actually keep track of what note you're on, and if the next note is a half step or a whole step away, and I call this thinking locally in the left hand. For the bow, most of it is pretty straightforward, except for the points where you have the G and E string, and these string crossings where you're skipping over the D and A. At these points, what I found to be helpful is to actually suspend the upper arm. So I basically hold this in place so that the weight doesn't add extra resistance. Saying that makes me cringe a little bit because typically I tell people if you want to make a beautiful sound on the violin, you should keep that right shoulder in a resting place and let that arm weight help you get a beautiful tone. However, this is Paganini, so exceptions must be made. When I'm performing this Caprice, my focus phrase is 2 passages. So to explain, I find that there are 2 extended passages in this Caprice that are significantly more difficult than the rest of the Caprice. One of them is before the repeat sign, and the other one is before the second fermata. So what I like to do is to actively conserve and diffuse my focus in the other sections, so that way I have a little extra brain power when those passages come up. This is the only Caprice in which I find that if I don't consciously do that, I significantly decrease my chances of playing those 2 passages well. So I think it's possible to direct your focus purposefully, and I try to use that to my advantage when I play this Caprice. So those are my tips for this Caprice. Feel free to leave any questions in the comments, and practice hard but not too hard. Doggy.